All right, come, have a look. The frames have arrived. We've done it all prefab, so it's come from a factory. It's just gonna mean that once it's, the slabs are all ready, this thing's just gonna go flying up. So super exciting, let's go check it out. All right, so here's the stack. Look at this stack. It's just stacks and stacks and stacks of timber ready to go, pre-framed up. So just chatting to Nathan, him and his team are gonna be putting it up. He reckons it'll take a couple of days to see a lot of work happen. So we'll see how fast it can go. I think it's a little bit of a race. We've got the other one starting, which isn't prefab, so it obviously takes a lot longer to get everything done. So yeah, we're excited to see this thing start flying. All right, I'm on site today just to have a quick look. But if you have a look around me, you can see that we've pretty much got the entire frame, I'm exaggerating, let's say 3/4 of the frame up already. This thing's gone up in 2 days, right? So I think this is a massive pro of doing this prefab style. All the frames are made in a factory, they get delivered here. You obviously need a lot of room to store all this, which we have the luxury of having. But you can see here, it's insane. I can already walk through this house and get to feel what it feels like. This is a bedroom, and then boom, check out that view straight out of the window here. Who's gonna stay in this room? Man, oh man, that's a view. So every bedroom has been designed in this house to be facing north, and you get to have the view of the ocean, the hinterland, and today's like a beautiful day. It's actually been raining, but now the sky's clear and it's just the most beautiful blue. But let's keep walking. So in these bedrooms, we have every single bedroom has an ensuite. Highly recommend in this day and age if you can, just to give everyone their own privacy. Obviously this is going to be like an Airbnb style house. Then if we walk down this corridor down here, we have got a cupboard here in the hallway. And then here we have another bedroom with an absolute banger of a view. So now we're going to walk this way, and down here, this is going to be like a little retreat for children to hang out in and play. And then out here, we're going to have outdoor garden. Through here, we have built in a special storage. So this will be locked for guests, but this will be where we store all sorts of linen and all that kind of stuff. And it's accessible outside. And then in here, we have the master suite. So we have a monster bedroom. This is so sick. And then in here, we have toilet on this side. We have this curved shower area, which is going to be very cool. And then down here in the corner, we have a bath. And then through here, you head out to the outdoor courtyard with an outdoor shower. But like you can see, what blows my mind, I guess, is just how quickly this has gone up. We've taken 3.5 years to get here, and now it's just absolutely flying up. I understand that things are going to slow down again once we've had this, but man, oh man, what an amount of work has been done here in such a short period of time. So very exciting stuff. Can't wait to see it all done.
So the most exciting thing about Agape House, which is what is behind me now, was in the design phase, the client bought this incredible site and they wanted it for their family to live in, but they also knew that because of the insane amount of cost involved in investing into it, they wanted to have a business. And one thing that I've been obsessed about for the last 10 years is creating luxury holiday escapes so people can actually go and enjoy our product elsewhere. So designing this for me was really exciting. I was working with my client. He actually went and stayed at our bunker house, and we talked about all the different things that failed on that and that I wouldn't do again, and all the things that work so well, like having, really oversized bedrooms with an ensuite. So every room feels like its own hotel room, and just all the little things that, like the bins and the storage and all the things you don't need and you do need in designing an Airbnb. So coming through here on the design phase was an incredible moment where you've got light coming through this massive oversized hallway. And then, like I spoke about before with simplicity, we just got a nice neat rectangle with nice neat rooms all just coming off systematically almost. So the design has this beautiful simplicity into every room, which they're almost identical until you get to the main event at the end, which is this incredible oversized master, arguably the best view on the whole site. There's not one room in this house that isn't framed by that view. So one thing that everyone asks when we are doing these massive luxury houses, this house in particular is probably the biggest structure we've ever built. So the amount of volume and square meters in materials and labor involved in building a house like this, one would think is extremely expensive. But if you see behind me, it's conventional construction that we're doing. There isn't anything insanely expensive. You've got to basically pick where you're going to spend the money. For us, we couldn't spend insane amount of money on every single detail in this house. So we've gone with generic framing built in a way that's cost effective. And then the finishes, the fixtures and the architecture does the talking, and you don't need to basically put lavish stone on every single wall and Venetian plaster and all these things that are very on trend but are very expensive. So I think you'll see at the end of this project that basically saving money in the right areas has allowed this to actually happen, because our client didn't have an endless budget. There was a deadline that they needed, it completed, and there was a sort of end game with the budget. So for us to make sure we hit that was the most important thing, or this never would have happened.